Listen, the man you are right now is not the man you are meant to be. He is weak, diluted, chained by invisible strings of fear, doubt, and the need to be accepted. That version of you, your old self, must be destroyed, not reformed, not adjusted, annihilated. He is a liability, a distraction, a walking corpse. Society built him to be compliant, to play by rules that benefit everyone but you. They taught him to smile when angry, to kneel when he should stand, to wait when he should strike. That man is unfit for the war of life. That man is prey. If you cling to him, you will remain ordinary, forgettable, disposable. There is no negotiation here. The only way forward is execution. Burn his illusions, shatter his excuses, strip him bare until there's nothing left but raw will. This is not cruelty, it is clarity. The battlefield rewards only those who shed weakness like dead skin. Destroy the old you. Do it with precision. Do it with finality. And when you do, comment below. The old me is dead. 2. The rebuilding in isolation. Once the old you is dead, silence becomes your forge. Isolation is not punishment, it is strategy. Understand this. Every empire is first built in secret, away from the eyes of the crowd. You cannot rebuild yourself surrounded by mediocrity. Their habits infect you, their doubts drown you, their weakness seeps into your bones. You must step away, withdraw, become untouchable. In isolation, you will confront the raw truth of who you are. No distractions, no excuses, just you, your flaws, and the work. It will feel ruthless, but that is the point. Growth is born from discomfort, not comfort. You must re-engineer yourself from the ground up, physically, mentally, psychologically. Train your body until it obeys without resistance. Sharpen your mind until it cuts through manipulation and lies. Harden your emotions until no insult, no betrayal, no rejection can pierce your armor. This is where you learn the cold discipline that most men never touch. While they waste hours chasing validation, you craft yourself into a fortress. While they cling to shallow pleasures, you stack power in silence. You are no longer playing for approval, you are playing for dominance. Rebuilding alone creates a man who cannot be shaken, a man who moves with quiet authority, a man who doesn't need the world because he has mastered himself. This is the path. Walk it alone. Walk it relentlessly. Comment below. I forge myself in silence. 3. Power through discipline. Discipline is not a choice. It is the spine of your rebirth. Without it, everything collapses back into weakness. Discipline is the law you write for yourself, and then enforce without pity. Most men beg for motivation. They wait for a spark to move. You, on the other hand, will move without spark. You will obey your own command as if it were carved in stone. Understand this. Power respects discipline. The Machiavellian mind thrives not on chaos, but on structure. Ruthless, calculated structure. Every hour you waste is a weapon handed to your enemies. Every indulgence you allow weakens your edge. When you master discipline, you control what others cannot, yourself, and the man who controls himself controls the battlefield. Discipline begins with small acts, rising early, training your body, commanding your thoughts, but it evolves into something far greater. It becomes your armor against temptation. It becomes your shield against despair. It becomes the silent voice that says, keep going when the world screams quit. The undisciplined man is a puppet. The disciplined man is the puppeteer. Cold truth. Discipline will make you lonely. It will strip away comforts, friendships, and fleeting pleasures. But what it gives you in return is priceless. Strength, clarity, power. Discipline molds you into a man who is feared, respected, and untouchable. Remember, your enemies are watching. They want you lazy, distracted, indulgent. Prove them wrong. Outlast them, outwork them, outdiscipline them. Write this into your core. You are no longer a slave to impulses. You are no longer at the mercy of moods. You are law. You are order. You are power-restrained, waiting to be unleashed at will. Comment below. Discipline is my weapon. 4. The art of cold detachment. To rise above, you must cut ties with the weakness of attachment. Detachment is not apathy, it is control. It is the art of moving through the world without being chained to it. Most men crumble because they cling to people, to validation, to emotions, to illusions. They beg for approval, and in doing so, they hand over their power. You will not. You will operate with cold detachment. Understand this. When you are detached, you cannot be manipulated. The world thrives on emotional hooks: flattery, anger, jealousy, love, fear. These are chains disguised as feelings. The Machiavellian mind sees them for what they are: tools. To wield them, you must first be immune to them. That means no reaction when insulted, no desperation when abandoned, no need when tempted. You become still, like ice, controlled, deliberate, untouchable. Detachment does not mean isolation forever. It means relationships on your terms. It means never being ruled by desire, never being enslaved by affection, never being broken by betrayal. You move people like pieces on a chessboard, not because you hate them, but because you see the game clearly while they are blinded by emotion. Cold detachment is masculine stoicism weaponized. It keeps you steady when chaos erupts. It allows you to walk away from anything or anyone without hesitation. This terrifies people because they cannot control what they cannot bind. That is your advantage. When you detach, you unlock a deeper kind of power: focus. Suddenly, your energy is no longer scattered across petty conflicts and fleeting emotions. It is directed like a blade toward one goal: domination of yourself and mastery of your environment. This is why kings, emperors, and conquerors practiced detachment. They could not afford to bleed emotionally. Neither can you. You must be the man who can walk alone in fire without flinching. The man who can watch the world collapse around him and remain unshaken. The man whose silence is more terrifying than another's rage. Detach and you ascend. Detach and you control. Detach and you become the storm others fear but cannot touch. Comment below. I am untouchable. 5. The psychology of power and fear. Power is not given. Power is taken, and once taken, it must be held with a grip so firm that no hand dares challenge it. But here is the dark truth. Power is never about fairness, kindness, or chance. Power is psychology. Power is perception. And at its core, power is fear. Every empire, every leader, every king understood this. People do not obey because they want to. They obey because they must. Fear is the most reliable motivator in existence. Love is fickle, loyalty is temporary, admiration fades. But fear endures. Fear burns itself into the mind. It is not always about threats or violence. Often, it is about presence, about the unshakable aura you project when you walk into a room, the fear of what you could do, even if you say nothing. That is why you must cultivate an image of control, of coldness, of inevitability. You never raise your voice. You make them lean in. You never chase. You make them come to you. You never explain. You let silence torment them until they obey. The Machiavellian strategist knows that power flows to those who understand human weakness, and nothing weakens the human spirit like fear. But here's the paradox. To wield fear, you must first conquer your own. A man ruled by his fears cannot inspire it in others. He will hesitate, he will break, and the world will smell it. So you must train yourself to embrace fear, dissect it, and ultimately dominate it. When you can walk into the unknown with calm precision, others will look at you with suspicion, then awe, then terror. The psychology of power demands that you master appearances. People judge what they see, not what is true. So you must craft an image, calculated strength, composed silence, decisive action. You may not always be the strongest, but if you appear unbreakable, you are untouchable. Remember, perception is reality to the masses, and reality bends to the man who controls perception. Never forget this principle. It is better to be respected with a trace of fear than to be loved without it. Love creates expectation, fear creates obedience, and obedience, in the end, builds empires. You are not here to be liked, you are here to ascend, you are here to dominate. And when they whisper your name, let it carry weight, not comfort. Let it remind them of their own fragility and of your strength. That is power. That is the psychology of fear. Comment below. Fear is my ally. 6. Mastery of strategy and manipulation. Power without strategy is like a sword in the hands of a fool. It cuts nothing but air. To rise above, you must become a strategist, a manipulator, a master of positioning. Life is not chaos, life is chess, and every man you meet is either a piece to be moved or an obstacle to be removed. The Machiavellian mind thrives on foresight. You must see 5 moves ahead, while others see only 1. Do not react, anticipate. Do not rush, calculate. Every word you speak, every silence you hold, every gesture you make must serve a purpose. Control the board, and you control the outcome. Manipulation is not evil, it is survival. The world manipulates you every day, through media, culture, peers, even family. If you do not manipulate, you are manipulated. To master it, you must study human psychology, understand desires, fears, and weaknesses. People reveal themselves constantly, through hesitation, through envy, through what they chase. Once you see it, you hold leverage. Once you hold leverage, you own them. The greatest manipulators never show their hand. They give the illusion of choice while steering outcomes in their favor. They smile while quietly tightening the noose. They give crumbs of approval, making others crave their validation. They spread doubt subtly, making rivals destroy themselves. This is not kindness, it is precision. You must also master the art of masks. Never reveal your entire mind. Keep your true ambitions veiled. Speak less than necessary. Let people underestimate you. Let them think you are predictable while you quietly prepare the unexpected. Victory belongs not to the strongest, but to the one no one saw coming. Strategy demands patience. You cannot be desperate. Desperation exposes you. A Machiavellian player moves with timing, striking only when the odds are already stacked in his favor. He knows when to feign weakness to bait arrogance, and when to strike like a predator. The greatest victories are won before the battle begins. Understand this. Manipulation and strategy are not about constant action, but about control. Control of yourself, control of perception, control of timing. The man who cannot master himself cannot master others. That is why you must remain calm, detached, unshaken. Because when emotions rule you, strategy abandons you. If you wish to dominate, you must accept that most men are slaves to impulse. Use that. Let them act recklessly while you act deliberately. Let them reveal their hands while you keep yours hidden. You do not need to outfight them. You need only to outthink them. The art of strategy and manipulation turns you into something more than a man. It turns you into a force. You are no longer bound to chance or luck. You engineer outcomes. You bend circumstances. You dictate the tempo of every interaction. And when people finally realize the game they are trapped in, it is already too late for them to escape. This is the level you must reach, to become the invisible hand that directs the visible world. Not begging, not chasing, simply pulling strings until reality itself bends to your will. Comment below. I move the pieces, not the other way around. 7. Building an aura of authority. Authority is not requested. Authority is projected. It is an aura, a silent force that makes people pause before speaking, rethink before acting, and obey before questioning. To build it, you must craft yourself into more than just a man. You must become a presence. Understand this. The world is drawn to strength. People crave leadership, even as they deny it. They want someone to follow, someone who radiates certainty in a chaotic world. Your task is to embody that certainty. Your words must be measured, your movements deliberate, your silence more powerful than another man's shouting. You do not fidget, you do not plead, you do not explain yourself. Authority is not about talking more. It is about needing to say less. An aura of authority begins with self-mastery. A man who cannot command himself commands nothing. Your body must reflect discipline, strong posture, controlled gestures, eyes that do not dart nervously but lock in with steady confidence. Your voice must carry weight, not desperation. When you speak, you do not fill the air with noise, you cut through it with clarity. But authority is not built only on appearance, it is reinforced by consistency. When you say you will do something, it gets done. No excuses, no delays. This consistency creates reliability, and reliability creates trust. And once trust is established, obedience follows. Authority thrives when others believe in your inevitability, when they see you as the man who cannot be shaken, cannot be stopped, cannot be ignored. Machiavelli understood this. It is not enough to simply hold power, you must appear born to it. People respect what they perceive as natural authority. You must cultivate this perception relentlessly. Carry yourself as though you are already the leader. Dress with intention, speak with clarity, walk as if the ground itself bends to your steps. When others look at you, they must feel, whether they admit it or not, that you are a man apart. Fear and respect are the twin pillars of authority. Too much fear, and people may plot against you. Too much softness, and they will exploit you. You must master the balance, feared enough to be obeyed, respected enough to be followed. That balance is achieved not through constant aggression, but through controlled power. A lion does not need to roar to remind others he is king. His presence alone is enough. This aura must also be guarded. Never let anyone see you beg, panic, or lose control. The moment you shatter your image, your authority bleeds out. Protect it with silence. Protect it with patience. Protect it with the cold understanding that appearances are not decoration, they are weapons. When you cultivate authority correctly, you no longer chase opportunities, they come to you. You no longer fight for attention, it gravitates to you. You no longer ask for loyalty, it is given freely, because others feel stronger in your shadow. That is the aura you must build, one that makes men want to align with you and makes enemies hesitate to oppose you. This is how kings are crowned without ceremony. This is how rulers rise without needing permission. Authority is not a badge, it is not a title. It is a force that radiates from within and reshapes the world around you. Comment below. I am the authority in every room. 8. Emotional warfare and control. If power is war, then emotion is the battlefield. Most men lose this war because they are slaves to their own feelings. They get provoked, flustered, enraged, or seduced, and in that instant, they surrender control. But a Machiavellian mind does not play by those rules. He understands that whoever controls emotion controls the game. Emotional warfare begins with yourself. If you cannot master your own emotions, you will never command those of others. You must become unreactive, unreadable, and unshakable. When insulted, you smirk. When betrayed, you go silent. When tested, you do not flinch. This terrifies people because most expect reactions. When they receive none, they feel powerless. Your composure becomes a weapon. But emotional control is not just defense, it is offense. You can bend others by triggering emotions they cannot resist. You can plant envy between allies. You can provoke guilt in the weak, fear in the timid, and greed in the ambitious. Emotions blind people. They blur logic, distort perception, and force rash decisions. And in those moments, you strike. Do not think of manipulation as shouting or dominating. True manipulation is subtle, a raised eyebrow, a pause, a carefully chosen word. You don't need to tell someone what to do, you simply guide them to feel what you want them to feel. Once they feel it, they will act as if it were their own idea. That is power. Consider how fear shapes obedience, how desire drives ambition, how shame keeps people small. Learn to pull these levers with precision. A Machiavellian strategist does not waste effort convincing. He shifts emotion and reality follows. This is why most leaders throughout history used symbols, rituals, and theater. They understood that emotion drives the masses more than reason ever could. Yet, you must never be ruled by your own manipulation. Do not get drunk on it. Do not lose yourself in the chaos you create. Remain detached, cold, and calculating. Use emotion as a tool, not as an identity. The man who manipulates but stays anchored in Stoicism becomes unassailable. And understand this, sometimes the most powerful move is to deny emotion altogether. Refuse to give them what they crave. Do not return affection. Do not reward betrayal with anger. Do not validate disrespect with recognition. Indifference cuts deeper than rage. Silence can be louder than shouting. Your absence can wound more than your presence ever could. Emotional warfare is about leverage. You must see every interaction as a chance to study, to test, to maneuver. Learn how people respond under pressure. Watch how they react to praise, to neglect, to challenge. Each reaction reveals their blueprint, their emotional coding. Once you know it, you own them. You must become the calm eye in every storm, the man whose face does not crack, whose tone does not break, whose will does not bend. To most, emotions are chains. To you, they are keys. And with those keys, you can unlock influence, control, and power over anyone foolish enough to play on your battlefield. Remember this, wars are not won only with weapons. The greatest wars are won in minds and hearts, without a single sword raised. Emotional warfare is the highest form of dominance because it leaves the body intact but enslaves the soul. Comment below, I control the battlefield of emotion. 9. Legacy of the untouchable. Legacy is not about memory. Legacy is about power that echoes long after you've moved on. The truth is harsh. Most men will vanish without a trace, their names forgotten, their existence erased, their impact reduced to dust. They lived, they begged, they consumed, and then they died. Nothing of them remains. That will not be you. Your mission is not survival. It is permanence. It is to become untouchable, not just today, not just in this lifetime, but in the invisible reach of your influence across years, decades, and generations. You must craft yourself into something so formidable, so relentless, that even when your body is gone, your presence lingers like smoke in the lungs of everyone who ever crossed your path. But legacy does not come by chance. It does not favor the lazy, the sentimental, or the weak. Legacy must be engineered deliberately, coldly, relentlessly. Every choice, every action, every silence must be placed like a stone in the fortress you are building, and that fortress must be designed to endure storms that would shatter ordinary men. The untouchable legacy begins with one principle: independence. You cannot build permanence on shaky foundations. If your identity, your confidence, or your worth depends on others, on their approval, their resources, their applause, then you are already finished. What is given can be taken. What is borrowed can be revoked. To become untouchable, you must be self-sustained. You must be the source of your own power. A man who needs nothing is a man no one can destroy. Next comes adaptability. Permanence is not rigidity, it is transformation with unbreakable core. The untouchable man is fluid, unpredictable, always evolving. He does not collapse under pressure. He shifts, pivots, and re-emerges sharper. He cannot be cornered because there is always another move. His enemies grow tired while he grows timeless. That adaptability makes him dangerous beyond comprehension. He becomes a shadow that cannot be caught, a storm that cannot be contained. But independence and adaptability alone are not enough. You must master duality, the art of presence and invisibility. There are times when you will stand tall, commanding the room with your aura of authority. Your mere existence will shift the atmosphere. But there will also be times when you must vanish into silence, unseen, unheard, yet always moving. You must learn to walk between light and shadow, visible when you choose, invisible when you must. The untouchable man is never fully caught, never fully understood. That mystery alone is power. Detachment is the next pillar. The world will always throw hooks at you: temptation, approval, seduction, fear. Each one is designed to chain you, to bend you, break them, be immune to flattery, be unshaken by insult, be unmoved by betrayal. When nothing outside of you can command you, you are free. And when you are free, you are untouchable. The masses cannot comprehend this level of control. Their emotions own them, but yours are forged into silence, and that silence terrifies them. Here lies the essence of Machiavellian legacy. You do not need constant recognition. You do not beg for remembrance. You do not chase applause. The world will remember you for one reason: because forgetting you is impossible. Your discipline, your presence, your dominance will carve itself into the minds of all who encounter you. You will live in their thoughts, in their fears, in their grudging respect. Enemies will rise. They will attack your name, your character, your power. Let them. Every strike they throw is proof you are above them. Every attempt to pull you down confirms you are too high to reach. The untouchable man thrives on resistance. He uses hate as fuel. He does not break, he endures, and endurance is the foundation of legacy. But true legacy is not built only in the shadows of enemies. It is also built in the eyes of followers. Your cold stoicism, your ruthless discipline, your unshakable control will inspire even those who despise you. They will hate you, but they will study you. They will resent you, but they will imitate you. That is the highest level of power. Not admiration, not love, but unconscious replication. When even your rivals mirror your ways, your legacy has already won. The untouchable man becomes more than flesh. He becomes myth, a figure others whisper about, a standard others measure themselves against. He becomes the unseen force shaping decisions, shaping movements, shaping futures. This is the immortality of power, not in monuments or books, but in the invisible chains you leave behind. To build this legacy, you must think beyond comfort, beyond the moment, beyond yourself. Ask yourself, will this action die with me, or will it ripple beyond me? Will this decision chain me to weakness, or will it forge me into something unforgettable? Every choice matters. Every silence matters. Every discipline matters. Remember, men die, but forces endure. To be untouchable is to transform yourself into a force, independent, adaptable, detached, disciplined, feared, respected, imitated, the man who cannot be erased, the man whose shadow lives longer than his body. That is the destiny you must claim. This is the path. Few will dare walk it. Most will quit, collapse, or vanish. But if you persist, if you endure, if you rise, then your legacy will be carved not in stone, but in minds, in whispers, in the invisible architecture of power itself. You will not be remembered because you asked to be. You will be remembered because forgetting you will be impossible. Comment below. I will be remembered as untouchable. 10. The final command. This is the endgame. The culmination of everything we've carved together. The death of the old self, the silence of rebirth, the edge of discipline, the weapon of detachment, the psychology of fear, the mastery of manipulation, the aura of authority, the domination of emotion, and the legacy of the untouchable. This is where it all converges. And this is where I give you the final command. Become a force or be forgotten. The truth is merciless. 99% of people will never rise. They live trapped in cycles of weakness, enslaved by their own impulses, crippled by their own comfort. They waste years seeking approval, drowning in distractions, surrendering to fear. They die as they lived, silent, irrelevant, erased. But you are not them. You are here, you are listening, and deep inside you there is a fire. Small maybe, but waiting to be unleashed. My command is simple. Feed that fire until it consumes everything that is not strength. Destroy the man who hesitates. Execute the man who needs approval. Bury the man who wastes time. Those versions of you must not survive another day. They are anchors, dragging you into mediocrity. Sever them without mercy, without regret. Then, in that silence, rebuild yourself alone. Forge your mind in solitude. Strengthen your body until it obeys your command. Harden your emotions until no rejection, no betrayal, no insult can pierce your armor. Rebuild yourself with discipline so ruthless that others cannot comprehend it. Rebuild yourself with detachment so cold that manipulation slides off you like water from steel. Rebuild yourself with foresight so sharp that you are always 3 moves ahead. Once rebuilt, walk into the world as a storm contained in human form. Do not seek permission. Do not announce your rise. Simply radiate it. Let them feel it in your silence. Let them see it in your posture. Let them sense it in your eyes. You are not like them anymore. You are not prey. You are predator. You are force. Power is perception, and perception is under your control. Speak with weight. Move with intent. Never reveal desperation. Never reveal all of yourself. Let mystery become your weapon. Silence your ally. Patience your shield. In every interaction, every room, every battlefield, command through presence. You will notice how quickly people bend, not because you demand it, but because your aura leaves them no choice. But hear me clearly. You must also wage emotional warfare. Control yourself, then control others. Trigger envy, awaken greed, plant doubt, ignite ambition. Learn to bend people without touching them. Learn to guide outcomes without revealing your hand. This is the pinnacle of power, not brute force, but invisible dominance. The man who commands emotions commands reality. And with each step, build your legacy. Do not live for applause. Do not chase recognition. Instead, construct yourself into a figure impossible to erase. Let even your enemies speak your name with reluctant respect. Let your discipline, your stoicism, your detachment infect others until they unconsciously imitate you. When your shadow lingers after you leave, when your silence cuts louder than another man's roar, that is legacy. The untouchable man is not remembered because he begged to be. He is remembered because forgetting him is impossible. He is the ghost in the back of the mind, the standard that others measure themselves against, the presence that alters every room. He is not flesh alone. He is myth, force, inevitability. And this is what I command you to become. Destroy weakness, rebuild in silence, discipline your mind, detach from chains, master fear, manipulate with precision, project authority, wage emotional warfare, carve legacy, become untouchable. Do this, and you will no longer be a man in the crowd. You will no longer be just another voice lost in noise. You will be the storm they cannot contain, the figure they cannot ignore, the presence they cannot erase. You will be rare, you will be feared, you will be respected, you will be untouchable. So now, I give you the final words to etch into your mind. Say them out loud if you must. Write them below if you dare. Carve them into your identity. I am the force they cannot touch. Say it again, louder, sharper, colder. Comment it below and let the world know you are finished with weakness. Comment it and brand yourself as one of the rare few who refuse to die forgotten. Because remember this, power is not a dream. Power is not fantasy. Power is engineered, built, seized. And if you have listened this far, you have already chosen the path. Now walk it with finality, walk it with precision, walk it without fear. Become the man they whisper about. Become the man they imitate in silence. Become the man who stands when others fall. Become untouchable. This is the final command. Execute it. And if you're ready to rise above mediocrity, if you're ready to destroy weakness and build dominance, then make sure you like this video, subscribe to Mental Fort, and turn on notifications. Because here, we do not teach comfort, we forge warriors. This is your fortress, this is your awakening, this is your command. Now go, become untouchable.